All right, everyone. My name is Raymond, and today I'm here to review a course that I'm taking for this particular Model 1 about measurement and testing ELRC 7010. And this course is a very good course. It was well designed. And as you can see over here, we have a course introduction where the professor or the teacher introduces himself. See that there's an introduction over here, an overview and an introduction to the course, and the features are clear. We have the course contact, that is the contact for the professor, and all that. We also have direct links that you can easily access for the course overview, the course material, as well as the course syllabus. And we also have some technology resources that you can use. That is the LSU computer labs, the virtual labs are also there. We also have links that you can have access to SPSS in at LSU. So it basically identifies most of the clear navigations and the recordings. And there is a dedicated link for SPSS recordings as well as SPSS work that we are supposed to do. And so this allows us as students to review the technical processes for the UDL that we have been talking about. So it supports the diverse learners. It gives us a recognition of different networks. And like I said, we can access SPSS and also virtual lab, which gives us a variety of options as students. And then it also gives us the opportunity, like I said, easy navigation, even though the navigation, we'll talk about that in the subsequent section that talks about the barriers. Here we are talking about how engaging it is and access to support and all that, which I've earlier mentioned about how it is accessible to we as the students. And we can see that it has been divided into weekly sections talking about introduction, the classical, test theory, and so on and so forth. And it keeps opening each week and each week as we enter a new week, we see that a new section opens. So the navigation is good, and we have recordings. If you click on this link, it will take you to an introduction to a link or the lecture recording from the professor or the teacher who is teaching the course. And it gives us a variety of technical options, like technology options, like I mentioned, like the SPSS. We also have the virtual labs, and we also have the lecture, which of course you can also see from the teacher. And then for the barriers or that potential advantages that I will talk about is that some of even though they are general learning objectives for the course, when we go to each of the sections, let's take one of this one, like the classical theory, for example. It has objectives, and they're also presented in the syllabus. But then if you click on the objectives, it takes you to a document which will be downloaded, and then you can access it. It is not visible on the main landing page. Like for example, if you open probably the if the objectives were clearly stated here instead of downloading onto a document, I think that would have been good for the learners. And I don't know why it's done that way, but I think that way should have, if it was stated or they were clearly stated objectives here on top or somewhere clearly for each of the weeks, and it cuts across all the weeks. And I think that is a barrier to the we as the learners. And also, I also see that it supports some specific kind of learners. While there are links to LSU computer labs and there's faculty support, it's not explicitly mentioned that there is any kind of something like that sort. So it's boils down to the student, him or herself, for him to navigate and to be able to get that. And I think that it's a gap that has been noticed by most of we the students, and I think if that is addressed to also help. And for the UDL also, in regards to the UDL, there are two identical announcements for forums at the top. And this creates a cognitive load for we as the students, where student has to wonder if they are different and which link the person is supposed to choose. And this is what I'm talking about. So when you come here, you see that we have two announcement forums, and I think will create some kind of confusion to us as the learners. And also the due dates. When we come down, the site or Moodle course is so loaded. When you come here, we see that there are due dates. For example, we see a due date of April 29, but then there's some kind of flaw or an error that I think that if we add a specific due date, it opens on April 1 and ends on April 29. If we add a specific day, probably a Friday, a Saturday, or a Monday to the due date, I think that one would also help. And for us to talk about the areas of improvement, those are some of the things that I've mentioned. And if we're able to add a progress tracking for the students to also see how they are progressing in terms of each of the weeks that we talk about. And we can also use, of course, ensure that students understand whatever data, even though they created the data that they created, I think I don't know whether it's up or down, but then there are some sessions for data that they created for we as a student. And that data, I'm finding it difficult to navigate. Like I said, the site is so loaded, and then the assignment, the weekly assignment as well. If we come here, we see the weekly assignment here. But then you are supposed to download the assignment here, and if you want to submit, you have to go to the course introduction to go down to be able to submit. So, and I think that if that portion too, if we are able to put all the weekly assignment at one end so that you can get the assignment from the same end and also submit at that end, it will be very, very helpful. Thank you very much for listening to me. And this is my analysis for this course. Thank you.